I'm Ethan. This is my wife, Celine. We've been married for about a year now. We met at SFA. We've been going to First Baptist now for a couple of years. Before that, and before college, I was a cultural Christian, and I would have told you that I was a Christian, but when you looked at my life, I was not following Jesus. At 14 years old, I went on my church's youth retreat, and I had been afraid of hell. I'd been afraid of judgment because I knew that I had sinned and I knew that I wasn't right with God. After an emotional message was preached, I raised my hand, and I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but I knew that I needed Jesus in order to not face judgment that I deserved. Soon after that, I quickly backslid into sin throughout high school and through my first semester of college. At that point, I hit rock bottom, and I knew that I needed not just forgiveness, but I needed to know God. I needed to really repent of my sin. And so I just cried out to God, and I prayed, God, I don't know what else to do, but I need you. The next week, God answered my prayer, and somebody invited me to an on-campus organization. And I met some really godly young men there who taught me what it meant to be a Christian, that it means to repent of my sin, to seek Jesus more than I seek anything else. And I also learned that Jesus is the true bread of life, that nothing else is satisfying except for Him alone.
I grew up in a household that we talked about God here and there, and we kind of knew who Jesus was, but we didn't really ever know what it meant to be a Christian. And so it wasn't until my freshman year of high school that I started going to a church on my own, and then my sophomore year I went to a summer camp that we went through this Bible study, and I ended up finishing it through the summer, and the Lord really revealed Himself to me through His Word. I understood my sin, and I understood just the work that Jesus did on the cross, and I truly believe that that's when I gave my life to the Lord. But it was a little difficult because I didn't have anybody walking with me. I didn't have anybody truly showing me what it meant to be a Christian and be devoted to God. And it wasn't until I came to college here at SFA that I got plugged in with the church, and I started seeing people around me that truly loved the Lord and were Christians that devoted their whole life to Him. And so that's kind of when I had a groundbreaking moment where I realized that in my high school years, when I gave my life to the Lord, it seemed like I was taking the things that I've learned of morality and just doing the next right thing, and I didn't realize how deep and how truly sinful I was, even though we'll never know how truly sinful we are. It was just another moment where people walking with me helped me grow and helped me see another perspective and another side of my faith, and I just continue to walk with the Lord and try to grow with Him daily and devote my life to Him.
And then I moved to SFA, and we met at the Baptist Student Ministry, and the Lord used some friends that I had just met, offered me a youth position at FBC. I started working there, and I quickly fell in love with just teaching the Word, and I knew that I was called to ministry.
And I started getting plugged in with the Baptist Student Ministry on campus, and I started, again, just learning what it is to do ministry, and I started wrestling with, is this something, as we were beginning our relationship, that I want to do more vocationally.
Looking back now, we can see all the ways that God's had His hand in our lives, in our stories, from our salvation to meeting each other, to our marriage, and to how He's led us to do ministry together. We can see clearly that Jesus restores.